This is an introduction to Sage Financials, and as you can see, it's a native application. So what that means is that we're looking right now at the Nonprofit Success Pack homepage. You can see the volunteers application. It's what's up. So what we do is we do the application launcher, and we click on Sage Financials. What we do is bring up the Sage application, and you're seeing the Sage kind of menu bar up here with selections that you can pull from. We're going to look not at, because we're looking from the Nonprofit Success Pack perspective, we're going to look at two pieces. This is the idea of the nonprofit expense and nonprofit income transactions and how to track those. So if we look at it, they're not sales and purchases from a traditional sense, because there are some nuances within Nonprofit Success Pack that they built into this application that are worth understanding. So by clicking other transactions and going out to, you have to go out to it, they have nonprofit expense here. And so this is able to, and if we look at this, this is just a list view. So if we select here, we can see all of these transactions, those that are posted and those that are not yet posted. And so what you're seeing is statuses here, because we're looking at all. And you have quick action buttons that allow you to post and unpost. So what we're going to do, though, is to click New, just to show you what that looks like. And if we go out to New, what we see is this screen, which allows us to fill in kind of name, reference, the date of the transaction, the amount. And then some of the benefit of what Sage brings is this idea of dimension tags. And so if what we've done is we've tracked in here, these are the expense type categories that we want to track. So we could talk fundraising or kind of general management, but or whatever else we would like to in terms of those expense types, depending on your organization. Then we can also look at, so let me just grab a couple of these. So let's just say we're going to do that. If we're going to do, we can do then a kind of activity. So this could be related to a specific program. We've also set it up so, this would be a printing, kind of a subcategory that we wanted to look at. Printing may also include, both management general, but also programs. So there's, different overlaps in ways that you'd want to report on it. We're also going to look here at kind of how are you making the payment. So is this we're going to do it, let's just say we do a cash transaction. And we're going to, this is more for the revenue donation side, but let's say it comes from unrestricted, and then we're going to pull it from the cash from our bank, or we could, have another petty account or something that we're actually tracking on. Kind of other fields that you can look at and track on, but this is for the multinational work or looking at how to create schedules. But for now, let's just cancel that just so you have a sense of it. And so we're going to look instead at one of these. So let's go out and take a look at this this just test, just to show you that what this is a record with details and with the related fields. And so we're able to look at kind of how these things work. So, very simple from a navigation perspective, and we're able to understand that. Then if we want to, we can go back out to other transactions and take a look at the income side. And again, we're trying to build financial statements. So if we're looking at tracking donations, and again, there's some tweaks that we can do with the Nonprofit Success Pack, but the idea is that if we look at how, again, to use the post and unpost features, but if we look at new, what we can see here is this is what again, very similar to the expenses. We can track on a name and a reference, a date. We can also then look up a donor tag, and then amounts, the income types. We, again, we can program these depending on how we want to, but this is how they come straight out of the box. We can work with activities. We can do the bank account again. We can look at it again from an income side. We can talk about where this money is going, so it's going to end up in the appropriate place for financial reporting. And then we can also talk about how it was received, so we know whether or not it was in kind or cash or whatever else. But that's a quick introduction to what this is about. Now we're going to talk about, once it's posted, how does it hit the ledger. So watch that as the next video. Thanks. Bye.